All right, I think Scott's going to join us when he gets a chance, but so we can go ahead and get started. So since we're right at 1 o'clock, we'll do that. Okay. There's a couple more folks coming in.
Good. Hey, Brian. Good. Good to see you.
What's this, Brian?
What's our seat array?
Wherever you want. Wherever you want.
We're in the kids sit over here with the big dogs.
There you go, man.
I ain't gonna move around a whole lot.
I appreciate it. Here's the agenda as well. There you go.
Yeah, we do have some agendas for
Oh. Good.
All right. We'll try and get started again. Monthly progress meeting number 2 for Sigwasa, construction package 1. Were there any comments on the previous meeting minutes? If not, adjacent project issues, any security, safety, any issues going on? Josh, things all right out at the sites?
Everything.
No break-ins, no accidents, no nothing?
No issues at all.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
All right, work performed over the last 30 days.
We basically finished, site work at Joe Beach. We've got, when I say site work, pre-site work, all the clearing, grubbing, early excavation, Saturday, erosion control, all that. There's still a bunch of mulch to haul out there, but it's not hurting. We'll get out. Pretty much set up the officers, they're all but ready to go. We've got dewatering in place, pump station. And we're down, there's 39 feet of lift, that makes it 8 lifts. We're finishing the 3rd lift, we'll shoot tomorrow. I say shoot, shot 3 tomorrow. That'll put us at -15, headed to 39. Everything looks pretty much like what we'd expect. No big surprises there at all, really. East Middleton, we finished all the undercut, placement stone, all that. And then dug part of it back out to accommodate the driller. He's really struggled with it. That stuff underneath is so wet and so bad, soft, that it doesn't matter why. Between that and the gravel above it, it turned into a mess. There were exploding casing and all this stuff. So anyway, they hope to shoot tomorrow, if not the next day. The good news is we've got a great foundation. It's good hard rock at the bottom. So that's a good thing.
Okay. Just as far as dewatering goes, I mean, is there much of a difference in dewatering between the 2 sites in terms of like how easy it is to pull out?
Yeah, there's tremendous difference. So Joe P's, we're at -15 now, where some sitting at around -18, 18 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we can comfortably keep up with it with 1 2-inch pump.
Right.
And at the East Middleton site, we have 3 sumps over there, and 2 2-inch pumps running constantly, pretty much full flow.
We're in water there, what, 7, 8 feet?
That's right. Yeah, we've got 1 sump that's sitting at -9, but we're still receiving groundwater at -3.
Yes.
So, and then we've got another sump at -14, and then another one at about -5, 7, something like that. That handles more of that storm runoff.
Okay.
But
And we're somewhat limited at the moment, how many pumps we can run, but they're supposed to have a temporary power connected today.
Right.
Go ahead with the work.
Okay, but so basically you got 3 pumps or 2 or 3 pumps are on wide open in East Middleton, still aren't.
That's
all
right.
down. Okay.
so just the groundwater comes in from every angle possible. The plan probably, is gonna be, once we get the power,
situation worked out there, get our temporary power in. Right now, we have one outlet we're working off of, so, we don't have much options. We can't run much more than 2 pumps, but what we'll end up doing is put probably 4 sumps outside of that excavation, and then one probably inside the excavation of some sort, just to keep that water pulled down. So, big difference between, East Middleton and Joe B.
Joe B was more like a cleanup.
Yeah, right.
And so the only water you've got is what falls out of the sky. It's not permeable part of
Yeah.
at all. But whatever falls out of the sky, you've got it to deal with, because you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
The other side is not that way. Think of dumping water out of a bowl or dumping it out of a sponge. You
Yeah.
can't ever get it out of the sponge.
Yeah.
And that dirt is acting like sponge.
Yeah.
So I'm confident once we get below that with our structure, we're going to turn it off.
Right.
But until we get there, it's massive.
Yeah, gotcha. What about, force main work, anything going on there, or
Waiting on submittals.
submittals? Okay.
14 to 16 weeks as soon as we get approval.
Okay.
Yeah, and, they've shot our work on the site,
Mhm.
their
That's
site
correct.
work. Have we done anything going down Joe P yet?
No, as soon as they can run it.
I think they went to East Middleton and they were coming back
Test it.
over to run down Joe P Road to the existing pump.
That's right.
That's kind of a clearing, you know,
Yeah,
we kind of
clearing-
got, we're
clearing's
kind of
all
where we,
done.
where we were last time. Erosion control, we're gonna stop with what we got, or
Yeah,
go
we're-
on, put it up, or?
We're just gonna hang tight up to the new lift station.
Well, keep in mind that if we have a group available, we may turn and go on the force main. So make it available to where we're not ways out, on the force main, because you're right there at the top of the hill now, so it's not much before we run out of it, correct? Okay, just keep that in mind. We may want to go ahead and pull the trigger if you see any reason not to. If we won't get torn out, you know, go ahead, and get on our schedule and get it going. We did get the signs put up. Okay. Everybody happy with location, where they are?
Yeah, they look good.
So initially, Bill, we have 2 of the temporary flags, temporary on both sides.
Yep.
We installed some permanent signage on both ends.
Okay.
Trucks entering the highway, or entering roadway, and then there's a, placard underneath it that says, "Give us a break."
Oh, level. Yeah. Okay. Great. And then anything with any residents, any issues last month? Yeah, I'm assuming on birds, anything, so that's good. All right. Great. How about work for next 30? I know there's a look ahead schedule floating around, so next 30 days.
Starting with Joe B, we'll continue to dig a hole.
Ensure that we go down. We will be close if we're not there. A month from now.
That's right.
We'll be all over it if we're not there. May haul out some mulch, not to confirm one way or the other on that. So mainly the work is to get the box out. Over to East Middleton, drill and shoot the rock, hopefully in the next day or 2. Then the pit box is due in here the end of this week, which is a 40 by 32 box that will sit down and it'll cover the top 9 vertical feet or so. And that'll keep that slot back. And then we'll start excavating them down. And the hope is in the next few days, next week or so, to be able to have GSI, that's the shoring money. This need be, as we get deeper in Joe B, it's gonna take 2 days just to excavate everything out. And so we're hoping to bounce back and forth between the 2 sides. They will have 3 drills out here at that point in time. We call them the jockey drill, what is it? The little drill and the baby drill. The baby drill goes over to East Middleton.
Okay. And then I apologize, I should know this, but as far as like submittal, I mean, if you're getting down to the bottom of Joe P, I mean, as far as, materials, rebar and all that kind of stuff, everything's.
We've got the rebar submittal in. I would like to request, we've asked you guys to look at it. It looked great.
Yeah.
Rick went through it, Rick had, they had a couple of changes. Really, all we care about is the 2 pump stations. So if your guys wanna focus on that, we don't care at all about the valve building right now, or the pads, or any of that stuff, just those 2 pump stations. So if they can focus on that, that would be good.
Concrete mix designs in review, and I think the formwork
concretely designed, that's right, the formula at this point. We released the in and under pipe.
Okay.
We sent, y'all sent the comments, we had the.
But within this one.
Yeah, we got this.
And I think the water stop was made it to the terminal somewhere. That's it.
And then, yeah, just with the rebar on the AIS documentation, that's all being set aside somewhere.
Yes, they can't get the tickets until it's back, until they.
Right, understood, but yeah, just
Almost done.
a reminder,
Do you have to have from us on each individual item what Ferguson likes to do a blanket with everything? Good.
Oh, just one AIS saying this is what is provided with that? That's a good question. Check on that.
Okay, if you could do a blanket that says it's all covered, but anyway, that's what we've done before.
Okay.
But again, if it needs to be each individual item, let me know.
Yeah, and Brian, I'll tell you, what I've seen done before, like 5 years ago, isn't, I mean, it's not what's happening on some of the jobs I've got on now. They've gotten,
Well, that would be a question.
yeah,
Just
okay.
before I start firing stuff off or making them jump through that many hoops.
Yep.
Check on that.
Understood. Okay, so, continue excavation at Joe Pete, and we'll, get in on the excavation of East Middleton. Continue with Smittles, all that stuff. Anything else coming up?
I don't know what, Brian, you guys, your plan is for the next month, right now, it's July.
Get some submittals and ordering some material.
Okay. Good enough. Coordination items, I know there's been a couple things, we've been going on with the Rock at East Middleton. I think there's been lots of back and forth. I don't know if we need to beat that into the ground over the meeting, but, we've gotten the quantities installed. It is, more than we were expecting, but, yeah, we've been reviewing that. We will be discussing with Sigwassa, how to proceed with that. And then the other big issue obviously is the, temporary power to Joe Pete's site. We have been working with Wade Electric on trying to get that expedited and get that in there. I think everybody's talking to Harold Yarborough at this point. He seems, he's been saying, I guess, he's gonna try to get an easement through the Wheeler property next door. There had been some discussion about the Wheelers selling that land to the Conservancy, so,
When I talked to Steve Wheeler up front of the project, he indicated it was supposed to close in May, sending that over on Star River. I don't know if that's happened or not, but what Harold said yesterday was that the deal is not closed, and he's meeting with the current property owner next week.
yep.
I still don't look for that to be very fruitful based on our dealings with Steve in the past. So I think DOT is still probably a viable option.
Yeah, so, what we will probably end up doing is, I'm gonna go ahead, and like I said, I don't think we have any leverage over Wade Electric on telling them where to get their easements and what to do. That's kind of their thing. So, I think the best we can do at this point is continue discussions with DOT, just to find out what would be involved if, Wade Electric does hit a wall with the Wheeler property on getting an easement. At least get things, so that if they switch over to DOT easement, that everything's ready to go, should that be necessary. So, Harold, I think is under the impression, or does know how critical it is to get this resolved.
I hope so. Every time I talk, it's like
We have offered any assistance he needs, so, we will keep on.
If we talked about setting up a discussion with DOT and Wade.
Yeah.
And your guys and our guys, and I really think that would be beneficial, because I didn't mind Harold said 6 months ago that it takes longer to get power.
Yeah. When I talked to him about that, I had mentioned getting on the phone with DOT, and he said, well, right now, we're just gonna, we don't think that's necessary. So, I'll touch base with him, touch base with him again next week after he's had his meeting with, Mr. Wheeler. We will see how that goes.
I had one question, this may not be the forum to talk about it. And if you don't wanna talk about it now, the rock on the, I just wanna make sure I don't get a bill from Tutter Road. You get a bill from Tutter Road, we pay for the same rock. Your rock on the site is your rock, correct?
The part out to the manhole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, as far as what he has shot on site, from the pump station up to that manhole out on Joe P. Road.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
No, that's just from the pump station to the first manhole, and then your guys pick it up from there.
All right, I just wanna make sure, you see what I'm saying, make
Oh,
sure you
yeah.
don't bill you and then turn around and
Yeah,
bill
Tim's
me.
got that more than straight in his mind.
You got that? Okay, all right, I just wanna clear that up.
And then I guess temporary water, my understanding is you've got a tank out there that you're just, whenever you're ready, a tank truck, okay. And then the last one I had on my list, and Logan's probably better qualified to talk about this than me, is just that, influent gravity sewer at East Middleton. I know there's been some discussions about elevations and layouts and installation. I think we're all on the same page as to how that's gonna go.
Yeah, we sent that maybe yesterday or the day before. I don't know if you all had a chance to look at it, just.
I'll forward it to CP&P, and we'll just take that and revise that whole, we'll take that submittal out, or if you wanna reject that manhole submittal, and then they're gonna redesign that manhole for the correct grades. And then we're gonna take some pipe off. Do y'all know how we're gonna handle that yet?
Well, I sent an email, Logan basically said out there, here's the plan. The length is 35 feet of C900. The producer used the donut idea that you had in the manhole. And then put a drop manhole over here. And I think I talked to the tire group and said, okay, well, Brian, if this, I don't know if the cost plus and minuses, I sort out.
Never mind.
But-
Never mind. Donut's gonna be $8,000.
But we got to sort that out. I think the plan is clear. The only thing I've got, Brian, is that there is a unit price for potholing, and my suggestion is we pothole where that manhole is gonna go. You don't, that's just an interpolated elevation. So, you know, based on math, it's gonna be close. But, they're gonna wanna know. I mean, you'd like to be within a couple, 300 anyway. So do we want to go in and stake that man, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The doghouse manhole.
Yep.
I'm sorry, the drop manhole.
Right.
I think we ought to do that, and you need to do that, and.
But we would need to, if we're gonna do that, we need to do it before we approve the submittal on the manhole, and build a manhole.
Well, yeah.
Cause you're gonna have an out and an in, and we wanna make sure that distance is right, cause the out's gotta work out with y'all's in on the wetway.
Yeah, I just want to be sure it's not lost, that is an interpolated data. It's not a shot data.
Where the 8-inch will enter that manhole.
Yes, from the west.
Yes.
And we just need to come off of your end, that's what everything hinges on, basically, is your end. And then everything hinges on, we need to make sure that 8-inch is gonna hit, well, it's got a drop in it anyway, right?
Yeah,
So
8
you have
inches,
plenty
it
of
does,
fall.
it's
It
like
does,
4
that's
feet
right,
high.
so it's higher.
Yeah, it did not
Yeah.
before, there was a disconnect somehow.
Yeah, so we got the grade, yeah, I got you, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll feel for it, the 8-inch, probably not.
Probably not. I was gonna say, if anything, be conservative on the low side for the opening, and if you have to go with DCP.
I think, I think it's ductile. That material?
Yeah.
It's PVC.
Okay, PVC. So I mean, we could always just go back and put a little section on for them too, but.
I believe it was that demonstrated that manhole, that's gonna be donated, this year, 21 or 35, one to do. I believe that's right. But do we have, I mean, I guess that's Jackie or Greg's purview, but do we, I mean, you've got a pot of it. I mean, that's all you're gonna know.
I mean, that makes a hell of a sense.
Just that one area.
That being that pretty tight.
That may, has it been staked? Cause y'all were doing the stakeout, y'all on the site, correct?
Right, yeah, we only stake the manhole outside of the, influence channel.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, do we, if that, y'all need to stake it?
We do.
Okay, get a stake on it.
I
We
think
need
we
to-
get a stake on it. What we'll do, Brian, once we get I will get that pit box in and get that site cleaned up. I'll say that like I'm the charge. You agree with that?
Heard what you're doing next week.
And so, then we'll stake it.
Yep, just let us know, and we'll go.
Well, that is stagnant, and all of that.
However he wants to do it. We got a back truck, we can go either, we can do that, or if you want to dig it up, just whatever.
I just don't want to suggest,
Okay.
Need the elevation and location, because just because they stake it there, don't necessarily mean, well,
We'll get a back truck up there.
and put something on to where we know exactly where it's at,
Okay.
provided it's laid straight.
Let's go.
That's right. We did all sorts of stuff back there.
All right, anything else under coordination items? All good,
I just for, clarification, when, in a perfect world, when are we looking at, beginning concrete?
5 weeks.
So that will be, that's something that we'll schedule for you, the third-party inspection, so we will want to be, either Greg or myself will, we'll get in touch with you, plenty of time, you'll have to get ready to do it. This is gonna be the first time there, so, we'll want to, offer to them to come out, on site before, if they need to make a visit prior to the site, but, that first, maybe just feel the lab out that first couple of times to get their process, how they want to do it. We'll need a, spot key core, core, core outside, so we got a spot for that,
Usually what we do, Jack, is just buy a big, bubble cooler. Okay. And if that works for you guys, it works for us.
we'll just label that one, F&R, so.
Sure.
Do we have a pre-concrete placement?
Yes, yeah, we'll have a pre-construction meeting with the contractor.
You guys want to just try to do that in July meeting, that's gonna be just perfect time.
Yeah, probably, yeah, we'll do that. I just forgot, Greg, you've met everybody by this point, okay. I was just like, it just occurred to me, I was like, yeah, okay.
Almost.
I was gonna say, coordinate with Jack, Jack is gonna be out for 6 weeks, and by the way, Greg's our PR on this job anyway, so I apologize. I'm a little slow on the update today. Where is the concrete coming from on this job? Sunrock. Sunrock, that's the one with like, right there, okay.
3.5 miles.
I was gonna say 4 miles.
Yeah.
There's not a problem with it.
No.
Right on the lake down.
Everything in this area is sunlight, they make sure.
That's, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, I said that, I was, oh yeah, there's that big sunrock plant right there, okay, all right. Yeah, but yeah, having a pre-placement meeting for concrete, just, we'll get our structural guys up here and, we can just have a discussion, make sure everybody understands in terms of who's responsible for what, for cylinders, for testing, for all that kind of stuff.
You want to plan the time now?
Let me talk to my structural guys, and then I think, and if we also make sure the testing lab wouldn't hurt to have somebody from here as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we need something to do. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know. We'll get that on. Field observations, problems that can keep progress or conflicts. We've got the East Middleton site conditions relative to blasting and excavation construction. So I know there's been some issues getting the blasts taken care of at East Middleton. I think we're finally to the point where we're good with that now. We should be good with that. Okay. All right. But anything else with regards to that stuff? Any anticipated issues or concerns that we can try to head off?
I think, at this point, you guys can get pretty verbal conversation back to the concrete design, the formwork submitted. The formwork submitted, it calls for drawings, but they're using Simon's form, 3-year form.
Okay.
So, we provide hopefully the real, and we all we really did is spend a whole lot of time for something that lays in the door after it's done.
Okay.
That's it. So I just totally leave it on. I mean, we know, we've got, the construction's gonna lay out, it's already written, right? So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Exactly what's shown on that, and use it for each different.
Yeah. Okay. And with regards to submittals, I think we've got, 11 under review, a couple resubmittals that are due to us. We've got 2 RFIs in review, 25 complete. We will, be distributing the submittal and RFI log with meeting minutes. But yeah, I mean, I know there's getting off the block. I know there's been a couple critical things, but we'll continue to try to address those. But then also, if there's any other ones that haven't come in that you know, that like if you can tell us even before they come in, this is going to be, we can get those folks ready.
I really think that we just, if we get those, Logan did a good job. I mean, we're getting that in and under the back fluid that's already released. We need that, it takes a couple months to get that.
Yep.
That's already released. I think if we, these that we have in hand right now, are really, once we get past that, the rest of it should be more or less.
Okay.
Plus get some equipment sales.
Okay. All right. Pay application number 1 has been submitted. Richard had sent me an email earlier today with a couple of questions, and Hillary, I might need to rope you into a phone call to answer some stuff. I haven't really taken a close look at the email yet, but from Richard. But yeah, so the pay application is in, and like I said, we're going to be addressing questions from Zigwasa that I think we might need you to help us out with. But as soon as I get back in front of my computer, I'll sit down and figure out what needs to be done. But yeah, we can let Richard know. We'll set up a phone call if that helps.
And I went through those invoices and signed off, basically pushed it to him, so he's got some questions. So it might be stored material, it might be tax.
Oh, yeah, that is one of the things, the sales tax forms, that we do need them, I think, broken out by county, or depending on where the tax is from. So, and I guess, Hillary, I don't know if you can provide clarification. I think it's the county where you receive possession of the equipment. So like if you have stuff sent to the site, it's obviously Granville. If you pick it up at your home office, some other office and have it trucked out here on your own dime, that's, yeah. But I think the sales tax reports do need to be broken up by county.
But it's by the county where you purchased it.
Which to receive it.
Where your sales tax is not gonna match up to your invoice.
Well,
That's fine.
Hillary, do you know off the top of your head what the
Usually that's gotta
invoice
go to the penny.
I've never had to deal with this before.
Okay.
Local counties, and I feel like that's more of a Saguasa
Okay.
than us.
I've seen it from other folks, but I'll look into that. Brian, I'll let you know.
Bill, the way it works, the taxes, that's.
Okay.
So it should be, unless you pick it up in Charlotte and bring it here, you're gonna get that marked back from the county taxes. We wouldn't go get it. Otherwise, it's gonna be grabbed in.
And there's several vendors we deal with who aren't set up to collect North Carolina sales tax, so we pay it directly, but it'll be for this county.
Right. Okay.
But I think we're pretty.
Like I said, after I talk to Richard, I'll clarify all that, but yeah.
Cause I mean, we might get some stuff in Durham County, we might get some stuff in Wake County.
Sure.
Depending on where it comes from,
Yeah.
and the sales tax is gonna reflect that county where you purchase it versus the location here. And it may be just a few cents difference, but it may not come out to the penny. Because I always have to put in the invoice, match up the invoice to the exact sales tax
Yeah.
and go like that. But we can work out.
We'll work on that, yeah. But yeah, so Hillary, expect an email from me and possibly a phone call following up with some questions. We are getting certified payrolls in. We will be reviewing all of those just to make sure, again, it seems like those being, looked at a lot more closely than they have in the past, so we'll just, you know, there might be some stuff, follow-up stuff we need, from Aaron, if that's the case. I do appreciate you keeping a list of all the subcontractors up to date. Yeah, and that's gonna be important, because again, at the end of the job, we are gonna have to go, if they came in and did any work at the site, we're gonna need payrolls, we're gonna need to do all that, so, it's better to do it now than to try to recreate it 6 months after the fact, so.
Brian, I don't think we have any for you guys, but I'm not positive. You don't,
I'm writing it down, and for example, that's another question, is Carolina Drilling giving you their certified payroll for the work on site? Or they give it to me?
Yeah, they're-
Because I told her, the last one we did, we mentioned it with Jason, and that kind of went away, so then we were like 4 months into it, then I called and said, we gotta have certified payroll, and Francis hit the roof. So I told her, day one on this one is certified payroll.
Yes.
We just need to get that divided line of what I'm gonna do and what you're gonna do, and I'll provide certified payroll for I just need to get it from you.
On that topic too, I think, correct me if I'm mistaken, but you used a different erosion control sub than,
Steel Brothers, isn't it?
so, we'll.
No, we use Carolina.
So certified payrolls for any of your subs as well.
Environmental.
Who uses the Ace of On? Who uses that?
You guys do this one? Yeah, well, they used to be Carolina.
Okay.
What's the name of it?
Ace of On, that's what they are now.
Usually if you pay them, it's hard to get the certified payroll. Usually try to get that before you pay them.
That's right.
I'll go back and make sure we get our ducks in a row on
Review of pending change orders, field orders, work change directives, so we do have change order number 1 that's in progress, reviewing. There's value engineering efforts, there is sediment erosion control expansion, there's site remediation that needs to be built in, and probably a couple other things as well. Looking at the asphalt, hey, Logan, did you have any questions on the asphalt at this point, or?
So I think, you know, Wes, you had sent an email a few weeks ago, about the asphalt revisions. I think, we just need to take a closer look at it. I know you had noted that maybe there was a discrepancy between some of the quantities, what was listed on the bid form versus what you all thought, what some may have thought should be installed, so, it's on our list to take a closer look at and swear up on that, so. But, it's, I don't think we're paving anytime soon.
And then, addition of throttling devices for the, ARVs, at the pump stations and law enforcement. That's, again, something we're looking at right now.
Yeah, so that's one thing that will be returned on the air valve submittal is, we did transient analyses for all the force mains and so forth as part of the project work, and part of the recommendations from those were the addition of throttling devices on the outlet, the discharge side of the air valve, so, those we'll return the information for that in the air valve submittal to be.
Where did we go with these, Crispin? Y'all remember? what
Crispin, and then,
Yeah.
you also submitted on that, yes, yeah. So each of them have a different name for it, but it just draws the discharge orifice size, a lesser of them.
And we'll just pass that back to the fire metro, whatever that amounts to, but.
Yep.
And then you've got a question, Joe P, is that 3 inch, that discharge line, you know,
Saw
talked about
that.
that before, and I think it's gonna be 30, but unless you
Yep.
push it down.
Yep.
All right, well, that gets us to the other business portion of the agenda. Anything else we haven't covered yet? Folks want to bring up?
The only request I've got is the value engineering change order, whether it
Yeah.
happens now or 6 months from now, really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. It's gonna be pluses and minuses to net zero. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be done. So none of that should be done. So anything we can do to expedite the work over these middlemen, that subcontractor has spent $100,000 there.
Gotcha.
And I gotta get paid.
Okay.
And we'll pay you anyway, but, because he's got a $300,000 contract, had 100 too, so.
Yeah.
We'll get paid for it.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. Anything else? Yeah, so I will look into setting up, getting a pre-board meeting, kind of tag team with this one for next month, but, otherwise, we will see everybody on, July 15th. Thank you.